Jorge Masvidal is one of the most colorful figures in the MMA world. Bold, trash-talking, and a brutal kickboxer in the cage, Masvidal has managed to gain a significant fan base and a successful career despite not yet winning a division championship. Masvidal holds the record for fastest knockout in UFC history and is famous for his attitude in interviews. But ultimately, Masvidal's real claim to savagery is his sincerity. He is always and only himself, and he doesn't care who knows it. Like, share, and subscribe to Ultimate Fighting Network as we discover the 10 most savage moments in Jorge "Gamebred" Masvidal's UFC career. To start, let's throw it back. Masvidal has been in the fight game professionally since 2003, but in 2015 he was still a relatively new name in UFC, having fought under the Bellator and Strikeforce banners previously. In July 2015, he faced Cesar Ferreira. In the first round, Masvidal was pushed backwards against the fence by Ferreira, but any fears that he was in trouble were premature. Using his kickboxing skill, Masvidal beat Ferreira back with vicious knees, then defeated him via knockout, earning the first Performance of the Night bonus of his career.
Masvidal is just so smooth in his boxing, such a well-rounded mixed martial arts, and he's fought so many top-level guys. And he's doing a nice job of either being all the way out at the range he wants to strike in, or being all the way in the clinch, but he eats a huge elbow there, and that's going to be it.
Because of his bold attitude, Masvidal is no stranger to fighting in front of audiences who don't like him. More on that in our next entry, but for this one, Masvidal made sure that his 2019 victory against English fighter Darren Till, in front of a London audience no less, was quick and decisive. Utilizing his kickboxing skill set, Masvidal silenced the contentious crowd by knocking Till to the canvas in the second round, and earning the win by brutal knockout.
Goes to that so often, that's such his power shot.
What a finish for Jorge Masvidal!
With some audiences, silence isn't the issue. In 2017, Masvidal went toe-to-toe with Denver native Donald Cerrone, also known as Cowboy, in front of a hometown crowd. Masvidal managed to knock Cerrone down in the first round, but the fight continued into the second, when Masvidal managed another knockdown, causing referee Herb Dean to stop the fight. Cerrone's hometown fans were not happy and let Masvidal know it, letting out a chorus of boos and jeers. But Masvidal isn't the one to be intimidated, and instead of ignoring the crowd's frustration, he gave it right back to them.
Career-defining win in Denver. Boos raining down here in Cerrone's hometown. There is a new welterweight contender, folks. His name is Jorge "Gamebred" Masvidal.
Some moments in MMA transcend the sport and become notable on their own, and Masvidal's 2019 knockout of Ben Askren is surely one of those moments. In 5 seconds, Masvidal gained the UFC's record for fastest knockout, completely humiliated Askren after a prolonged marathon of pre-fight trash-talking between the two, and showed what a vicious discipline kickboxing can be. The clip of that knockout is still watched and remarked on, and probably won't ever lose its notoriety. No matter how you feel about Masvidal, that flying knee speaks volumes.
They get the fight clock is brought to you by Modelo. Wow! One of the greatest knockouts you'll ever see!
Oh my goodness!
Stiff as a...
Despite being related to The Last Moment, this one gets its own entry, because it's one thing to knock a guy out in 5 seconds, and another thing entirely to continue the savagery after the fact. It was no secret that Masvidal and Askren had a bitter rivalry before their match, and Masvidal made sure everyone knew that the hatchet was not buried after either. Despite attempts by interviewers to make Masvidal defend his brutal decisions, he didn't take the bait. The flying knee and every strike thereafter were what he felt he had to do.
And my job is to hit somebody till the referee pulls me off. So to those people, I would say maybe don't watch MMA, go back to soccer.
I saw some other criticisms perhaps of your celebration afterwards. Any regrets at the celebration or your behavior in the cage afterwards?
Man, there's not too many people that I've disliked. I have over 50 pro fights, and he's one of them, you know.
Thanks for watching this far. Please help support us by liking this video and subscribing to our channel. We appreciate you.
Masvidal is a divisive figure for a number of reasons, and one of the main reasons is that he doesn't take crap from anyone. His fans love it, his detractors hate it, but you can't say he ever shies away from a chance to stand up for himself. After his knockout victory against Darren Till in London, Masvidal was being interviewed backstage when British welterweight Leon Edwards decided to call him out. Whether you agree with it or not, Masvidal certainly doesn't like to be called out, so he approached Edwards with his hands behind his back, allegedly with the intent to simply let Edwards speak his mind. But it soon came to blows to the surprise of no one, and Edwards came away with a cut on his face for his trouble. Was it smart of Masvidal to engage in the backstage brawl? Probably not. But it sent a clear, savage message to his fans and opponents alike. Jorge Masvidal does not mess around.
If you, hey, come over here, say it in my face, bro.
An age-old tactic in trash talk is to diminish your opponent, make them seem weaker or smaller or less of a threat than they really might be. And it's a tactic for a reason. It works. Masvidal has mastered the art of the casual brush-off about most of his opponents, only kicking things into high gear when provoked. But when it comes to fellow welterweight Kamaru Usman, Masvidal's current and biggest obstacle to attaining a championship, Masvidal has figured out one of the best and most savage diminishing moves of all. Just pretend you have no idea who your opponent is.
Well, listen, I'm sure you know that after you today, we'll be speaking with Kamaru Usman.
Who?
UFC welterweight champion.
You know, the champ, Kamaru Usman, is sitting not too far from us right now. What? Kamaru Usman.
Jorge Masvidal has worked very hard to get where he is. And when you work hard, you expect to get fairly compensated. Fighter pay is a perennial hot-button issue in the MMA circles, and there is pressure from the entire community to make sure that fighters get paid fairly, considering how dangerous their job truly is. Masvidal is one of the louder voices in that discussion. As usual with all things Jorge Masvidal, this has made him a contentious figure. Some find his arguments about pay frustrating or overblown, but big names like his are what bring the discussion out of the background and into the mainstream. And while that might be uncomfortable, it has a trickle-down effect for fighters who have less name recognition. And that's pretty savage.
What is it so much, you know? And I want these questions answered maybe. So I thought, what better place to come on here and ask you these questions, you know?
It takes a lot to stand up for yourself, especially against your boss. Even more so if your boss is a figure as powerful and influential as UFC President Dana White. And White is definitely Masvidal's biggest opponent in the question of fighter pay. But Masvidal's secret weapon is that he doesn't scare easily. And he doesn't have any fears about publicly putting his relationship with White into perspective. No animosity, no intimidation, just business.
I don't know. He's my coworker. You know, it's not like I'm gonna go hang out with him anywhere anytime soon or anything like that. I don't have like, I don't know, no animosity towards him, but I also don't really like him too much either because he has to do his job, which is generate the most money for his company. I got to do my job, which is generate the most money for me and myself.
What's more savage than pizza? Jorge Masvidal interrupting his own press conference to ask for more pizza. Enough said.
Just wondering, Jorge, you mentioned how the belt might go around town with you. Do you think...
I'm sorry. More pizza.
More pizza over here.
I'm running out of pizza. I'm about to walk out this interview. More pizza, please. Hurry up, somebody.
With such a long career in combat sports, Jorge Masvidal has many, many savage moments over the years, and we're certain we didn't cover them all. What's your favorite savage Masvidal moment? Did you have a favorite that we didn't mention here? Comment below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching the Ultimate Fighting Network.